Blessed be. It is Starfly Awakening. I'm just coming to you because I promised I would start doing Periscope more. I'm actually a little better, I think, with YouTube, but so be it. Seems like everybody wants to be on Periscope these days, so I don't mind doing that and transferring the video over to YouTube. I really want to talk about relating versus mating, and in this time of ascension, awakening, enlightening, hi everybody, it's a good time to really think about what we want in terms of relating, how we want our relationships to look going forward. The thing is, mating and relationships within themselves are such a big factor of our lives. It's how we learn to know who we are, how we learn to heal ourselves, how we learn to look at certain aspects of ourselves that may need to be fine-tuned or rearranged. And around mating, there are so many ideas of what a relationship should look like. When you deal with relating is bigger than one-on-one person. A relationship or relating deals with every aspect of your life. You can relate to items. You can relate to the earth, the moon, the wind. I walked outside today and I thought, how often do you look down at what's happening around your feet? And how often do you look up at the sky at what's happening above you? That's a type of relationship. Taking inventory of what is and then capitalizing off of that. So relating is about seeing what is and allowing that to flow. With mating, we have these concepts of what mating is about. It's about survival. It's about procreation. It's about sex. It's about a husband. It's about a wife. It's about obligation, loyalty. We have these things, so we meet people who we should have relationships with and be relating with and try to force them in a category in our life that they just may not fit in. Relating says allowing people to show up in your life and be who they are meant to be. And that may just be a brother, a friend, a lover. And lovers don't always mean sex. As a matter of fact, most people who are having sex rarely are, well, I can't say most. A lot of people who are operating in sexual relationships are often not operating in love for self or each other. Mating is about seeking people to fit your agenda, preconceived. So that's when you get and you meet a wonderful guy or a wonderful woman and you try to make him your husband or your wife before you even know who they are, before you even know if you really do click. It's liking the energy of a person, and instead of seeing what that gift, that energy is coming to bring to you, making it about what you want it to be. Relating is not people specific. It is about cherishing your relationships to all beings, things, and situations. It's seeing how God, Goddess is working in everything. I'm playing with my Lakshmi. My Lakshmi smoke. If you see me moving my hand, that's what I'm doing. But anyway, relating is about your relationship to everything. The sun, the moon, the stars, the air, your spoons. My shaman taught me, don't have anything around you that you don't have a relationship with. So if you have a phone that you don't use anymore, pass that on. You no longer have a relationship with it. That's stagnant energy. If you have bath products that you don't use, either throw them out, give them away. Clothes, recycle them. Move that energy, because if you don't have a relationship, if you're not relating to a thing, it really is just filling up space. And you're not learning anything from it. Mating is about picking a person or a series of persons, often neglecting our other relationships in our life. We're taught that a husband and wife forsakes all other and cleaves to each other. And that's a beautiful sentiment, but you still have children, you still have friendships, and those friendships are necessary. And what happens is we create a dependency that is out of balance. We create possessiveness. We create jealousy. When you have the mindset that when you're in a relationship, every other relationship is no longer as important or important in your life, you create a codependent, addictive situation where you need that person to be at your beck and call, when they're the only person that you have to rely on. And it creates an unhealthy attachment in the relationship, because that person can never be all things to you. You can never be all things to a person. You can be all things in a specific moment, but we need other friendships, relationships. We need our mothers and our fathers and our cousins. You know, some of you, I know you may have not the best mother or father, but somebody has fathered you, somebody has mothered you, somebody has loved you, somebody has sistered you. So, you know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you begin to make this relationship larger than life and miss the other life lessons that are there for you. And that's what mating kind of teaches us. Mating teaches you that it's about survival of your nation, survival of your race, and it puts you in a fear factor. There are no more good men, there are no more good women. But if we spent more time relating to people, not only will we find that there are positive people for us to interact with of both sexes, but we would find that we would become the kind of person that we want to attract. A lot of our issue is the desperation that we're approaching relationships with. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going against mating. Mating is a beautiful thing. But I think as we elevate and become more spirit-centered, more heart-centered, we can understand the value in the different types of relationships that are coming, and the importance of being able to relate in a mating situation, being able to bring honor, respect, communication skills, awareness, calmness, peace to your relationship is going to be very important. Relating is a practice and art that teaches us to recognize what is and to honor it. Mating teaches us to often turn a blind eye to what is based on concepts. And what that means is, like, people will use the word loyalty. So you're in a mating situation with someone who's not healthy for you, but because you want a relationship so bad, you will turn a blind eye to certain characteristics. Maybe this person isn't a positive person. Maybe you've caught them lying. Maybe they steal. I mean, I'm not saying that that a smug is getting to me. I'm not saying that to say that you shouldn't be patient with people, and this is definitely not from a place of judgment, but a place of wisdom. And in wisdom, we do use judgment and discernment. So judgment is not a critical thing if it's going to keep you in a place of peace in your own walk, in your own growth. What I find is a lot of times people are mating with people that they have seen the truth of. And this is where authenticity, and I'm getting ready to do an authenticity series, because I think we talk a lot about integrity, and again, that's another concept. But what is authenticity? Authenticity is being your true self. It is honoring your gut feelings. You can feel when somebody is not necessarily the best person for you, the right person for you, and a lot of times we push past what we know just to say that we're in a relationship, and that's that pressure of mating. I have to be with somebody, and the world will look at you and say, well, what's wrong with you? You're not in a relationship. You're not with a man. You're not with a woman. What's wrong with you? You're pretty, so why aren't you with somebody? You're smart, why aren't you with somebody? Well, maybe I'm not with anybody because I haven't found anybody to relate to the way I want to. Or maybe I'm with many people, not in a romantic sense, but that I relate to all things. So I'm never alone, I'm never without, I'm never in desperation, I'm never in need. I can have as much relationship with my incense as I have with a person sometimes. And I know that sounds a little, weird, but it's true. You can relate to anything, and there's a message in everything. There's a scripture that says that even the rocks cry out. There are words and frequencies and tones that come from inanimate objects, or what we see as inanimate objects all the time. Everything is animated because everything is energy. So mating teaches us to turn a blind eye to a lot of things and not really focus on what is. If we choose to relate instead of mate, when we do find a mate, it will be a healthy and positive relationship. And let me say this, I find so many people who are ready to be in a relationship. I'm ready to be in a relationship. Do your self-work. If you are still healing, which I think on some level we always will be working on certain aspects of ourselves, growing up into certain aspects of ourselves. But if you are still in a place of vulnerability where you have issues of trust, being in a one-on-one mating situation may not be what's best for you. I love this song. Take time to heal your own heart. Understand that relating is bigger than a person, and your first object of relationship and relating should be with yourself. I find so many people who have all these people around them and they never relate with themselves. There's always a TV going on, there's always music, there's always noise, there's always something going, there's always a person to be on the phone with, something to be listening to. When do you relate to yourself? When do you hear yourself? When do you have a relationship with you? When do you listen to spirit on the inside of you? It's beautiful to have people to tune into, to give you a word, but people aren't always going to be there. There's always going to be somebody in your ear, but that doesn't mean they're there. And that doesn't mean that they're there for you. What is specific to the moment for you? And a lot of that is on the inside. So a lot of times we're having a hard time relating outside of ourselves because we haven't even related to ourselves. That's my thing on relating versus mating. The importance of relating is really real. I'm going to do a video soon, or a Periscope soon, on communication. The importance of communication. I have a quote that I came up with the other day. Learning the importance of true communication. We talk around, at, and about, and rarely do we talk to each other. Authenticity comes into play in that. In so many things, in integrity, it deals with authenticity. In relating, it deals with authenticity. In communication, it deals with authenticity. Your spiritual walk deals with authenticity. How you relate to other energies coming into your life deals with authenticity. If you can't be honest about how something is making you feel, you can't send away those things that do not serve you. So authenticity is very important, and I don't hear a lot of talking about authenticity. I hear people pushing positivity as an absolute way to get what you want in this life. But if that's the case, there's a lot of people who speak positive and look positive that are not positive beings on the inside. What is your heart center saying? What is your auric body saying? What is your emotional body saying? How do you function when you are around other people? How do you function when you're with yourself? This is the test of where your positivity and negativity lie, and then understanding the balance of your negative moments, what people would consider negative, understanding what sorrow comes to do, what anger comes to do, and allowing those things to do a work in you as well. I am Starfly Awakening. You can find me on Facebook as Sarah Smith, SarahSmith, starfly7@gmail.com, YouTube as Starfly Awakening, Instagram as Starfly Awakening. I do consultations one-on-one. I also sell products, energetic clearing sprays, spiritual baths, and oils, all made to order, custom made for your body chemistry, your spiritual makeup, your energetic imprint, your cellular needs. If you would like to speak with me, I would love to work with you, and I look forward to hearing from you again. If you have a question that you would like for me to answer, please email me, shoot it to me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I will do my best to respond. In highest love and service, I leave you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.